Hello, everyone. This is your instructor, Maji. This is my announcement video for week one. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as we go through what we're going to be doing this week. So this week, we're going to be introducing the course. So again, I am Maji. If you have not already seen my video, Meet Your Instructor, go ahead and do that. So you can just get a little bit of an understanding of my background and just the person who's going to be leading this course. So when you go into the landing page of the Blackboard College Algebra page, you're going to be welcomed. And then the first part will have to do with starting to build our classroom learning community. This is going to be important for us to all feel safe in this space. So we are ready to learn from one another, to grow, and to just know the support is there for all of us to be successful. So on the first tab, there's going to be some important information having to do with how to contact me, course syllabus, lead policy, and so on. Make sure you are reading all of those carefully. Next, that video that I was talking about is found under that tab, Meet Your Instructor. If you haven't seen it already, I suggest you just pause this video and you watch it and then come back. And then I also uploaded a video called With Math I Can. This is more about mindset, and it is just a great reminder that no matter where we come from, and even if someone has convinced us in the past that we couldn't do it, we have the power to really change our minds and to just know that we can absolutely be successful and that we have tremendous power in believing in ourselves and being successful. So on that content page, we're also going to be looking at Alex and the course assessments for this course. So Alex, as you know, is going to be the platform we're going to be using for our college algebra course. So you're going to have the opportunity to have access to tools to better understand it, to just help you navigate it. And then when you look at that second tab with the rocket ship, that's what you're going to be clicking on to get to Alex itself. And then now the course assessments will just tell us in general everything that's going to be due throughout the course. It's not all, but these are going to be the main assignments. So we're going to have the portfolio project that's gonna have different parts. So starting on week two, at the end of week two, we're gonna start turning in to, part one, and then part two is gonna be due on week four, and so on. Don't worry about any of these details because I'm gonna give you a reminder every week. Now that portfolio project is gonna be it's going to count for 25% of your final grade. And what we need to remember is we're going to do a little bit at a time. And then on week seven, we're going to be submitting everything. Then we're going to have three assignments on weeks 3, 5, and 7. Those are going to be worth 25% of your final grade. There's going to be a discussion to be engaged in every week. That's going to be 25% of your grade. And then the work done on Alex, that's going to include the homework, the quizzes on Alex, they're going to be 25% of your grade. So this week, week one, we're going to be talking about ratios. So we have on our screen the picture of just different fruit with possible ratios between them. So for example, on the first of these examples, so you have oranges and apples, we could come up with the ratio that can show us their relationship here in terms of quantity. We also have on the bottom right, pineapples and strawberries, so we could think about what are the ratios of pineapple to strawberry. So ratios are a comparison of two quantities, and they're going to lead us to an important concept called unit rates. And in order to calculate unit rates and ratios, we're going to need to know how to convert between numerical quantities, meaning fractions, decimals, and percentages, because these are going to be what we're going to be using when we're talking about ratios, unit rates, and so on. Now, anytime we have a calculator that can help us calculate or convert, it is really important for us to know how to use it so we can leverage that. And then, just like always, we're going to be wanting to apply what we learned in applications for our personal lives and also our professional lives. All right, so week one ratios. So, what are we talking about here? So, just to give us an understanding of what this week is about, let's take the example of toilet paper. So it could be anything, but here let's just take the example of us wanting to just go shopping, and now we want to just make the best decision possible. So let's say we want to go shop for our families, for ourselves, or for our loved ones. And as any of us who have ever shopped know, a lot of times there are a lot of choices. Now, we always want to make the best choice, of course, for ourselves or for our loved ones. So in this case, what would we choose? So suppose we have the choice between one pack that has 12 rolls of toilet paper and that costs $15. And then there's another pack that has 23 rolls of, just indulge me here, 23 rolls for $28. Now, which one would we choose? And just for simplicity, we are going to assume that it's the exact same brand, the amount of sheets, and the same amount of quality. So everything is the same. The only difference here would be the number of rolls and the price. So which one would we choose? Now, we will learn after we learn about unit rates that here the first pack, pack one, is going to come up to $1.25 per roll versus pack two, which is going to be, and I'm going to just move this a little bit to show you, okay, pack two is going to come up to $1.22 per roll. So clearly, pack two here is a better buy. Now, you may be thinking, well, it's only $3, sorry, 3 cents per pack. What's the big deal? Well, this can make actually a very big difference if we are buying it at a very large scale. So, for example, I work for a very large school district with maybe over 170,000 students, thousands and thousands of teachers and staff members. So if I'm the person who's in charge of having contracts and it's going to come up to a difference of 3 cents per roll, this is going to make a very big difference if we are multiplying this by thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of rolls. If we're thinking about, say, a 25-year timeline. So of course, this is going to make a difference. So here we see how unit rates can really help us make the best decision, whether we are doing something just for our family or for our job. Now, in week one, we're going to always see something that is similar to this. So when we just click on week one ratios, we're going to be seeing this drop down menu, and I'm going to walk you through everything you're seeing here. So first, when you click here, you're going to be seeing just a list of all of the assignments on Alex. So what are going to be the reading, the homework, the quizzes, and so on. Next, only for week one, I have provided you some guidelines about how to engage in the discussion and the discussion board. Make sure you read it before you post and before you go into your first discussion. It's gonna just tell you some of the guidelines that we're gonna want you to follow whenever you are engaging in the discussion. For example, there's a minimum number of words to have for each one of your posts. Also, every week, you should be replying to at least 3 posts from your classmates. Always make sure you are checking the grammar, the spelling, and how to do that, and so on. Next, the discussion for the actual week is going to be given. So for week one, when you click there, it's going to tell you what's going to be your assignment for this week and what you need to be posting and replying about. For week one, you're going to have an introductory documents quiz. So this is going to be information that you really need to have and understand. And then you're going to have a small quiz just to assess your understanding. And every week I will be adding a supplemental resource, so to go along with what we are having on Alex, just to help you better understand what we're learning. And these are just things I am choosing because I have used them in the past, and a lot of times they could be a good tool anytime you're looking for some information about math or resources for math. These could be some good places to go. So in this case, for week one, it's a video from Khan Academy. It's not always maybe the best resource, but sometimes they have pretty good videos. In this case, they are going to give us an understanding of ratios as a relationship between quantities. In this case, they're using apples and oranges as an example. And then the portfolio project. So first, the first week, just take some time to read the directions, the rubric, and just make sure you understand what is to come. It is not due yet, but for now, we're just going to try to get a little bit familiar. So to recap, this week, we are just going to mostly just do the work on Alex and then just the discussion and that quiz that I talked about, but we have no assignment for this week. Next week, just previewing, we're going to be working on the first part of the portfolio project. That's going to be due at the end of the week. So I'm going to remind you next week to make sure you are getting started on that. But that's all we're going to be doing this week. And then just keep in mind that we're going to have this coming up next week. All right, this is the end of week one, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.